Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another fantastic episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. I'm your host, Bernadette. Joining me today is James Real. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Sorry,
You're
just
welcome. No
looking.
worries. So, where in the world are you?
Good question. Right now I'm here in the Philippines, in Cebu City, Philippines.
Okay, okay. Nice. And you're telling me of the time. Can you tell us what time is it where you are?
Yeah, it's 1:15 a.m.
Wow. And it's 10:15 a.m. here. Massive time difference. I appreciate you being here so late or so early.
Yeah, I'm working graveyard, so um,
Ah.
your nights is basically my mornings.
When do you sleep?
I sleep when you guys are
When it's night
working.
here.
Yeah, I
Ah,
don't know what. Yeah, when it's not your time.
okay, I see, I see. Okay. So, James, why don't you start by telling us your story and what you do?
Yeah, so um again, my name is James. I'm from Cebu, Philippines. What I do basically is I provide anthology book projects, doing it on my own. We have a website. It's called Student Book Press and Media.
Hmm.
We offer anthology book projects, and then at the same time, we offer book marketing services that could, definitely help authors without, um, you know, uh, having to worry about the costs or the fees because a lot of book marketing agencies out there are offering inflated service fees to promote books. But with Sumba Press and Media, our goal here is to basically disrupt the industry. So what we did is we partnered with a VA agency here in the Philippines under Signex. A friend of mine named John has been actually running that agency for 10 years, and we collaborated. We believe that marketing is essential, but it doesn't you know have to break a writer or an author because it's too expensive. So it doesn't have to be expensive. So with the technology right now, we are um, doing organic at the same time. We're doing some advanced tools like AI tools that we can use for us to create content because our goal is to basically provide consistent marketing by creating content with social media, helping them reach out to potential readers and book buyers by building email lists, creating landing pages, websites, SEOs, and all the kind of stuff.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing that type of work for?
Yeah, a good question. So I started way back 2010. I was working for a self-publishing company in Bloomington, Indiana. I worked there for 5 years. We've been helping thousands of authors there. And then I decided to, start my own publishing company way back 2017. Since it was the first time, a lot of, things happened. And then COVID came. Have to basically just, you know, pause everything because of the challenges that authors are facing. I mean, authors are just like us human. They have emotions. They also have financial challenges. So I decided just to put it on hold, and then I finally came back just last year. I started working with an organization in CA in California. They were doing anthology book projects for women. I think you guys heard about Shiraz Studios. They're a very amazing group of a company that are doing anthology book projects and are basically empowering women. So I helped this group, and then I worked with some other coaches. On top of that, I also work with an agency, a VA agency in Australia under Jason Grossman's team. And that is how I got the idea of doing my own anthology. I fell in love with anthologies because it is not just, a kind of book like, an ordinary book that people actually can buy online. It has something to do with, creating an impact, is changing the world by sharing our real life stories. And that is when I decided to start doing anthologies. Um, we just launched our company this year, Stonebrook Press and Media, but I'm working with experienced, team members that has been in the industry for over a decade. They've seen a lot of, terrifying things, I would say. Authors getting scammed, getting this movie rights, proposals that are not even true, been promised with acquisitions by the major publishers, but none of them are true, pretending to be literary agents. And for me, it's more of like a calling. Like there's this. Uh, I don't know how I describe it, but there's this energy that's telling me that I have to do something to help these authors globally, and show them that there is this real support that they can actually get consistently, to give them visibility for their book, at the same time helping them in creating their brand, establishing their foundation, things like that, without having to worry about the fees because it's affordable. And yeah, so that's basically how we started and why we started. I think the why is very important,
Mm-hmm.
and that is why so President Media is born.
Wow, that's incredible. I love that not only are you passionate about what you do, you're helping those who need it the most. And you're right, it's very hard to market, to brand, and to even know how to start. And it's as important to bring in authenticity and to continue to empower people to do that. So for people who don't know, what is anthology? I have an idea, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah. So in the past, anthologies are more focused on, like a sequel kind of thing, for a solo writer. Like say, for example, they're doing a science fiction book. So one best example is the Harry Potter books, where there's a series of Harry Potter books, the J.K. Rowling's books, things like that. But nowadays, anthology is actually changed. Basically, it's a book, a compilation of different stories coming from multiple writers.
Mm,
So these writers, they share a common goal and a common vision, and it's all about empowerment. It's all about changing the world, sharing real life stories that can move people. So that's basically what anthology is. For those who've been wanting to become an author, but they can't just really finish the entire book, they can actually start off with joining an anthology book project. What is required in our organization with Stonebrook Press, what is required is just to write a 2,500 word chapter,
mhm,
and they just have to choose the topic that they'd like to write. So basically, we got 10 books on the line right now for 2025, and one of them is basically a book about resilience, a book about living your passion or revealing your dreams. We have a lot. They can actually check the list if they go to our website. Is Toonbar Press and Media. They just need
mhm,
to go to upcoming books in 2025.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Can you tell us more about your book that's on Amazon?
Yeah, so Plan, Prepare, and Expect to Win. It's my first book. It's my first anthology. When I started it, it was just basically an idea. When I was helping authors in the past, for this organization in CA, some of them would tell me like, "Why don't you do your own anthology book?" And I was thinking about it. I'd like empowerment. I'd like creating an impact, but um, I want to be able to do that in a way that I'm also working with others. So that's how it started. Plan, prepare, and expect to win basically is something that most of us are struggling, because sometimes we get stuck with what we're doing, or you know we lost our focus. And planning is essential. In order for you to be able to do the right preparation, first you need to plan and how to prepare. And when you are able to do the right preparation, and of course you can expect to basically overcome anything, right? Whatever it is, life challenges, or you're trying to get a promotion, or you're trying to finish a certain project. When you basically plan your strategy, your system,
Mm-hmm.
and you prepare, and that's basically how it got published. So
Mm. Yeah, I
yeah.
love that. I love that. Yeah. I've been told I should write, put my story in books, and I write poetry. But when I think about it, it hurts my brain and I can't narrow down. I really
Yeah.
can't narrow down what I really want to show. It's just not coming out. What advice would you have for someone like me? Maybe other people are experiencing writer's block or very similar situation.
Yeah, that's a very common question. So, when I started writing, I also had that experience. Like when I start writing, and then all of a sudden, in the next couple of minutes, I would lose focus.
Mm.
And then what I did was I made a lot of research. Like, how can I actually finish my chapter? So
Yeah.
yeah, so I went to YouTube University, and there are these coaches that would actually teach you how to do it. You just have to be very resourceful in where you can actually get the information, but you choose which coach, or who this person that you need to actually listen or follow. So one of them is Robert Kosberg, is the founder of Bestseller Publishing, and he did the book Publish Remote Profit. What I like about his coaching is that he teaches writers on how they can actually start working on their manuscript. So
Mhm.
what I did is I listened to Robert, and there's this another guy. He owns self-publishing. I think his name is Chandler, if I'm not mistaken. So they have these courses that you can actually learn online, and it will teach you and how you could, write something. So I started from there. I would write, just a few sentences on a daily basis, and I would, outline, say,
Mhm.
for example, plan. So what are the things that I need to actually talk about when we think about planning? So I would write it down, and just continue writing, and then I would think about the next thing that I would need to discuss in my book, which is the preparation. So things like that. And of course we have
Mhm.
tools to use, like chat gpt. You can incorporate chat gpt with your own realistic ideas, and then you
Mhm.
polish it. So that's how basically I was able to write my own chapter. And some of the collaborators that I was working with, it
Mhm.
was their first time. Like they told me, James, I don't know how to write. Like I've been wanting to publish, but I don't know. I just don't
Yeah.
know how to write.
Yeah.
So I would send them links and some videos that I've found online, and I would ask them to spend at least a few minutes just to watch the video, and then from there they would have an idea on how they can actually start writing.
Mhm.
But amazingly, even though it's their first time, they're able to really write a chapter in just a matter of days, not even two
Wow.
weeks Just
Mhm.
spending like 15 minutes a day, writing. Eventually you can, write a chapter. And like you said, if you've been wanting to become an author, the most I would say the quickest way, the smartest way of doing it is being part of an anthology. So you get to experience how it feels to become a published author. You're getting support of a community that is basically, they
Mhm.
share the same vision as you have. And
Mhm.
then from there, it would become your experience, and it would make you feel more comfortable, and will give you the courage and confidence to do your own book.
I love that. It sounds like boot camp. That's how my
Yeah, it
mind is
is.
seeing it.
Yes.
Because you need a vision, a mission, consistency, habits, routines, and you need to commit to it.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
So one of the most important thing also is that you need to first, ask yourself, why are you doing the book? What are your objectives?
Mm,
Because if your objective is just, like you just get envy from an author because, this author is now earning millions of dollars, like, J.K. Rowling's, and
mm,
that is not a good motivation. That's not the right objective. So first ask yourself, why would I write a book? Who are these people that I wanted to enjoy my writing? What's my message, and why should people read it? So those are some of the few questions you need to ask yourself,
mhm,
because if you're clear with your why, you won't you won't be disappointed if your book is not selling. Okay. Um, because if your
Yeah.
book is not selling, like most writers, they get scammed because when somebody would offer them this and that, like for example, in movie rights, and
Hmm.
they're working on a science fiction book, and they think like, okay, I think my book is a movie material, and then they
Mm,
would pay this agency that would promise them the moon and the stars, but nothing's gonna happen, and that's when they would
mm,
feel really bad because they were,
mhm,
promised of something that's not really gonna happen. So it's
mhm,
important for you to first ask yourself why you're doing it,
mhm,
and what do you need to do. Do your research. Just don't, believe on what's, given. Everything is actually available. You just have to be very resourceful, and you ask, people. You ask people.
mhm.
Network with the right people in the industry.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing. So, from your experience, would you say that people write mostly from things that they've been through in their lifetime?
Yeah, autobiography books is a very common genre. In
Mm,
fact, it's one of the, I would say, in a month,
mhm,
I'm able to speak to more than 10 authors working on autobiography books.
mm,
Um, a lot of us wanted to share our own life story, like how
yeah.
we, grew up, what were the challenges that we had in the past, how we overcame it, things like that. Yeah, I would say autobiography is one of the best category. But there are some limitations to it. Like say, for example, if it's a true to life story that you're doing, um, depending on there are some technical rules that we have to follow where we have to protect the people involved in that story. Like sometimes you have to tell them you can't use real names in your book. We have to
Yeah.
to protect these people.
Mhm,
Controversial books, I would say. But at the end of the day, we can still, get the book published just as long as the author, agrees to the policy. It is for them to be protected at the same time for the publisher.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for mentioning that because I think it's important because
Yeah.
some people, even though they've been through what they've been through, they're just not ready to make it public or known to everybody, but they
Yeah.
still have that urge and the sense of, yes, it's time to share my story. So I like that you mentioned that as well because I never thought of it that way. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. It is. I remember one time when I was helping this author. It was way back 2010, and her story was really devastating.
Mm,
She got molested at the age of 5 years old by her own father, and
mm,
um, by her relatives. And then she had a boyfriend, and then she married more than 3 times, and she got abused.
mhm.
It's disheartening to actually hear stories like this.
Yeah.
Um, but then she wanted to mention those people in the book. However, she wasn't allowed to, and then
Mm,
she felt bad. I encourage her that what's important is that you're able to share your story so you can protect
mm,
other, women or
mhm,
kids, the little girls,
mhm,
from preventing them to experience the same thing.
yeah.
And that's how she agreed. That's how she agreed. And in this industry, it's just so much when you listen to people's story. Like
Mhm,
you get to hear stories that you can't even imagine,
yeah.
existed.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with this in this industry because
Mhm,
you get to meet a lot of people, different personalities, different stories, and all that. And but like I said, um, it's just so sad that other people are taking advantage of people's experiences, especially the writers, and they have hopes, they have dreams of becoming a successful writer someday, and then all of a sudden they would pay for services that really doesn't make
mhm,
sense.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm,
people are losing money, and a lot of talented writers decided to stop writing and it's a waste of talent. It's a waste of gift if that happens because
Hmm. Hmm.
of this bad things that's going on. But
Yeah.
like I said, there's still hope, and
Hmm.
I'm hoping that we can definitely help more writers in this industry pretty
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. Yeah, that's good that you're doing that. I think it comes to education because that's what you're doing. You're teaching people that this is wrong, this is right, this is you're kind of guiding them. It's like a map. You're not necessarily telling them how to get to their destination. You're also allowing them the experience of getting
Mhm.
there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, true,
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say to young writers? They don't know where to start. They've had bad experiences. How would you empower them to continue and not give up?
Yeah, so like you said, it's really important that you first have to really ask your why, know your why. Um, failing in the industry doesn't mean you are a total failure. As a writer, for me, you would fail if you actually stop sharing your message. If you stop promoting your book, that's a total failure. You
Mm,
don't quit just because other people are doing these things and all that. But to protect yourself, sometimes. Um, I'm sorry, but I have to be very realistic here. But sometimes we don't find the time to be resourceful, or maybe we're just too busy
mhm.
with other things. I'm not gonna say you're lazy, because when you write a book, it takes a lot of time for you to do that. Like you have
Yeah.
to spend a lot of hours, sleepless nights, and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
um, you have to protect yourself by educating yourself.
Yeah.
So before you make decisions and doing this and that, do your research. Just do your research. Everything is on the internet. Talk to people. Follow those people that has been doing this for quite some time. That person doesn't really have to become a bestseller, but as long as that person can guide you thoroughly with all the processes and all that, just listen and then do your own research. It's
Mhm.
actually the reason why I decided to become an author myself, because I wanted to experience when I was involved in this industry. I was just basically providing marketing services, but I really didn't understand how to become an author.
Mm.
So I decided to be a part of that book. We wrote that book in June 2024, and that's when I understood, like, oh my gosh, it's not easy to do a book cover. It's not easy to even do some edits, formatting, all
Mhm.
that stuff.
Mhm.
um but the most important factor of getting a book published is, putting the book out there. That's the most important and the most challenging thing.
Mhm.
So for young writers, the fact that you guys are young, when you fail the first time doesn't mean you don't have, a
Yeah.
chance. Just,
Yeah.
continue what you're doing.
Mhm.
Um, you have to go back to the reason why you even started.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
and be very clear with your perspective. If you really want to make money out of your book, before you write your book, do a lot of research and marketing.
Mhm.
um you can be very consistent with social media, but social media, as you can say, it takes a lot of work, especially if you're doing it on a daily basis. It really requires a lot of your time, and if you
Mhm.
don't have the time, if you don't have the skill set, you can hire an agency like Stonebook Press and Media, or maybe somebody near in your area, someone you actually trust.
Mhm.
um it's very important that you're consistent. It's important that people see you every day.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to be unavoidable. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
Like they see you in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever there's social media, you need to be there.
Mhm.
um and also, if you want to be certain, then try to learn Facebook ads or Amazon ads.
Mhm.
um we have this service that I partner with a group in Ireland, and what I like about it is that they're able to help our authors, our clients, to basically promote the book and make sure they profit.
Mm.
Eventually the book would really sell, but we are very careful in selecting the genre. We just don't offer it to everybody. So one of our requirements is that it needs to be a non-fiction book.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are categories on Amazon. When you go to Amazon, go to the prime categories, you would know what category or genres are really selling well. Children's book is always there.
Mhm.
You could actually, see what genres are really selling. So if you're a first time writer, you're good with, your writing, and if your goal is to make money, I
Mm-hmm.
would suggest go to Amazon and search for the, top categories, what genres are really selling. And then after that, you choose what genre you wanted to work on. Because like you said, you want to make money, right? So
Yeah.
instead of writing something that you like,
Mm-hmm.
you write something that is already working, genre wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you're an author like me who's not really after of the money, just really wanted to create an impact and empower others, start with, doing an anthology. If I'm allowed, I wanted to invite them to check our website, Songbrook Press and Media. We have 10 different book coming up this year. We would only require you to do a 2,500 word chapter, 150 words bio on your headshots.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the rest of the things for you, the designing, the cover, the editing, formatting, registrations, and the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, since we're selling the book, once the book starts selling, then we are going to be earning royalties. But I'm not inviting you to earn royalties here. I'm inviting you to share the vision and the mission to basically inspire others by, collaborating with us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's a paid collaboration. It's not for free because there's cost in marketing, there's cost in, doing the book. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
not ready to, to join in a paid collaboration, you don't have to. You can do your research and maybe join somewhere else where they would actually do the book, and
Mm-hmm.
they won't charge you anything. So it's a good way to start. You just have to decide either you want to go for a free collaboration or a paid collaboration. I always go with a paid collaboration because if you're actually paying to collaborate, you are being accounted for. You would be very committed and dedicated to give your time when you're asked to be on a Zoom
Mm-hmm.
call or being invited into a podcast like this. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's why I really like doing a paid collaboration.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's awesome. And as you were speaking, I'm just thinking of many different aspects of life. Just to be consistent, to not give up on it, to keep trying. I mean, geez, look at me. Like I never used to be a people person, and I'm podcasting, I'm talking. Of course, there
Yeah,
has been ups and downs. It's just how we rise. I think that matters. So I love that.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So as we wrap up, I have two questions for you. The first one is, what is the meaning of life for you?
Well, life for me is simple. It's all about purpose. Life without a purpose, it's for me, it's meaningless. I think it's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you need to first ask yourself, why you even existed, right? So I've learned this from a famous person. I forgot the name, but
Mm-hmm.
in life you always have a choice. It's either you're there just to, you know, watch, do nothing, or
Mm-hmm.
you're there to create something. So I'm here to create something. I'm not the best writer in the world. Okay. I'm not the best publisher. We're not the best publisher, but we're
Mm-hmm.
learning. And I think what makes Stonebrook Press and Media separates from the rest of the publishers out there is that we have the heart to really help these writers because we understood becoming a writer. We understood, book promotion. We understood basically, all aspects in this industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I love that. Thank you. Lastly, where can people find you? I know you've mentioned your company's name. Is there a specific website? Where on
Yeah.
social media are you?
So right now we're focusing on building our platform on Facebook, but I would suggest that you go to our website so you get to see the collaborators that we had in the past, and also for you to see the other service that we're offering. So please go to our website, Stonebrook Press and Media. .com. You can see my face there. You can see, the faces of the team that's working with Stonebrook. And if you wanted to meet with us, you can actually book a call just like this, and we will be more than happy to assist you. And like I said, you don't have to work with us if you just wanted to get some information, add more knowledge to to protect yourself, we are more than happy to give that to you. We don't force authors to work with us. We're here to guide you, and we're here to disrupt the industry. So if you share the same vision, like Stoneberg Press and Media, we are looking for those authors who wanted to create change in the industry. Because for us, nothing of this would be possible without your cooperation. So right now, I'm just happy to say that we are now working with few writers who decided to give our company a chance. We are a startup company, yes, but that doesn't mean that we don't have the expertise. So we're bringing in our expertise, but this time with a heart and commitment towards our goals in helping others globally.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. What a refreshing, amazing conversation this was. Thank you so much, James, for staying up until 2 a.m. to
Yeah.
be on the podcast. I appreciate what you're doing, and I love the rawness and authenticity in it, and just the fact that you want to help people and show up for people and guide them. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bernadette, and congratulations on your podcast. I've been following you for quite a while now, since
You
last
have?
year. Yes, yes, and that's the reason why I sent you that message. And you know
Yeah,
what? We need more people like you.
thank you.
We need more people like us, who's
Yeah.
wanting to do something, wanted to really create an
Mhm.
impact. And I want to say congratulations, more blessings
You.
to your podcast show. And I'm hoping to bring in more, people into your podcast, especially my
Yes,
collaborators. I
yes.
have them on the list. So all I have to do is to
Woohoo.
send them your link and get them to be on, your podcast show.
Absolutely. I'll be waiting for that. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you so much, Bernadette. And I look forward to receiving this recording from you. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Bye bye. Have a great one.